Now on CoastTV News.
Delmarva's drought persists, but it might be a good idea for a specific type of local businesses.
The debate between demolishing or renovating the Army Reserve building in Lewes, why some locals, they want a fresh look.
Plans for the Kaima Hotel are facing red tape in Ocean City.
And we are 32 days and counting as far as living without any rain in our area. I have the latest on the drought.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Dry conditions continue on Delmarva, but that might actually be a reason to raise a glass if you like some wine. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 5. We begin tonight with the ongoing drought, how it's leaving its mark on Delmarva.
It's something we followed for weeks, and it seems like these dry weather conditions have no plans on loosening their grip. Many are dealing with dry, dusty crop, but believe it or not, that's actually a good thing for one local business.
Though this drought has given farmers a run for their money,
CoastTV News reporter Zakia Jennings shows us how it could help local wineries.
Bottles and bottles of wine at Nassau Valley Vineyards. You can smell the fermented grapes all throughout the building. Peggy Rayleigh Ward, the owner, says this winery is just one business that has, believe it or not, benefited from the drought that has been plaguing Delmarva.
Actually, a little bit of a drought as we come into harvest is better for us in the wine business because it concentrates sugar levels.
Though she still feels the negative impact of the drought. Peggy says her vineyards can only do so much on their own without rain.
When you look at the vine, you think it's not very big, but what you don't understand is it's got a taproot that's 30 feet deep, and they'll find the water table.
Karen Fox at Wharton's Garden Center shares the same experience. Her plants are able to dig down deep to survive.
So when you're looking at your plants that are established, I'm saying like a good third season into their growth habit in the spot where they are in your landscape, they should be fine. They should be handling the drought situation.
Fox also says the change in the season is a big help.
The evenings are cooler, so we're not having to water as often.
Maybe someday soon, Rayleigh Ward can cheers to measurable rainfall in Delmarva.
The dry weather conditions and the warmer temperatures have been good for business because they've reeled in more customers, but later on down the line, if this drought continues, it could have a negative impact on the vineyard. And with a slight chance of rain in the near future, Peggy just hopes that it's enough to keep her vineyard going strong. In Lewes, I'm Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
New today, there's an update to the ongoing burn ban in Delaware. Along with a ban on all outdoor burning, the state fire marshal has banned the sale and use of fireworks. The fire marshal says discarded cigarettes, carelessness with matches, and car exhaust are some of the most frequent causes for the ignition of dry grass, mulch, and other landscape materials.
now let's go ahead and take a live look outside into the Ocean City area. I always love this view at this time of night, at this time of year. We need to check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams. Paul, any rain in the future?
Like Zakia's package, there's a smidgen of a chance of rain. We've been hyping it a little bit, mainly it's on Friday. But it's a so little chance, like 20-ish. And that's the best we can come up with. Now, our Salisbury camera and Tidal Health camera in Salisbury indicating we're going to fall back into the 50s with mostly clear skies. But the bottom line here is this. We are right now at 32 days and still counting. The record is 34. I am confident we're going to reach that record at the very least, and that's going to happen on Halloween. But we could carry that on over into basically the weekend. Now, you got to remember, for the entire month thus far, we've actually had 3 3/4 of an inch of rain shy of our normal rainfall total for the month, and we stayed desperately dry with that. And then for the entire year, we're now clocking close to 6.5 inches shy of where we should be for this time of the year. Now, we're going to talk more about that smidgen, that 20-ish chance of rain in the forecast. Till then, back to you, Charlie.
The Cape Henlopen School District is pushing Sussex County Council to pass a voluntary assessment fee. Now, the fee would cause developers to pay a fee that would go towards school construction. That, though, is proving to be divisive.
VSA tax is a tax. We do not need more taxes. I am opposed to taxing people. We have the highest taxes in the country on residential dwellings now. We do not need an additional tax.
They said that they don't want to raise taxes. This is a fee on developers, so you could do the math. I would think that somehow that they don't want to impact developers on this. Developers can pass the fee on to the home buyers if they choose to, and that spreads the cost equitably for everybody.
The school district plans to keep pushing council for this measure, and it brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know who should bear the cost of new school infrastructure.
Let's take a look at the results so far. Take a look at your screen. 81% say developers, so they like this idea. 13% say the home buyers, which again, the developer could put that fee down onto them. Local government or state government get 3% of the vote each.
Now, we'll have to see if these numbers change in a meaningful way as we go through the evening. You can go vote at CoastTV.com or use the Coast TV mobile app.
We are now just 1 week away from Election Day. It's a long week, and both presidential candidates are making their closing pitch. NBC's Bree Jackson shows us how both candidates are making that last-minute push to hopefully energize their supporters.
A critical moment in the 2024 presidential race.
We're going to fight like hell for the next 7 days.
Are we ready to vote? Are we ready to win?
Vice President Harris making the case that the former president is a threat to democracy. Preparations are underway for her to deliver her closing argument from the ellipse as a reminder of the day that Trump urged his supporters to go to the U.S. Capitol on January 6th.
It's either going to be Donald Trump sitting behind that desk, writing out his enemies list of who he's going to seek revenge and retribution on.
Harris sending an optimistic message about the country's future if she's elected.
We are fighting for a democracy. We're not about the enemy within.
Former President Trump arguing that Harris is the one dividing the country.
A campaign of destruction. But really, perhaps more than anything else, it's a campaign of hate.
After backlash from remarks made at his Madison Square Garden rally, where a comedian called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage, today the former president saying,
"The love in that room, it was breathtaking."
Former President Trump zeroing in on immigration, highlighting personal stories of Americans hurt by migrant crime, and laying out his solutions if elected to a second term, which include imposing a prison sentence for illegal border crossers.
They serve 10 years in prison. They won't come back. And if that's not long enough, we'll have to do something else. But we don't want them back.
Both candidates making the argument that they should lead the country. Voters will have the final say. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Make sure to tune in to Coast TV for our preview week coverage. That's all this week. We're going to be airing exclusive candidate interviews, focusing on the races that impact us right here on Delmarva. Our Decision 2024 preview week continues today with a preview into the Delaware Lieutenant Governor's race. In the first state, early voting still underway in Sussex County. There are a total of 9 early voting sites. According to the Delaware Department of Elections, as of Tuesday morning in Sussex County, 42,967 votes were counted for early voting. On CoastTV.com, we have a list of all those early voting locations.
New today, authorities in Portland, Oregon have released photos of what they're describing as a suspect after a ballot box was set on fire overnight. The car is described as a black or dark-colored 2001 to 2004 Volvo and was spotted near the ballot box in southeast Portland around 3:30. It's believed the car is potentially linked to 2 similar incidents in the Vancouver area, just 15 miles away there. Election officials said 3 ballots were damaged.
Closer to home in Milford, police have arrested 2 teens on gun charges. Friday night, police say they pulled the pair over on Route 113 and 14. The officer learned that the 18-year-old driver from Dover did not have a valid driver's license. Police say they then discovered the 16-year-old passenger from Georgetown was in possession of a loaded handgun. During the search of the car, officers say they also found another handgun.
To demolish or renovate, that is the question about the Army Reserve building on Savannah Road in Lewes right now. The vacant building will be given to the city of Lewes. The Board of Public Works and Police Lewes committed to buying the building in 2022 with the idea of having more space for the growing staff. Some locals are ready for a fresh start.
Well, I would rather see it demolished and something more familiar with the territory. Historic Lewes, maybe a little more pleasant looking. What's there right now really doesn't say much.
The BPW says it's creating a subcommittee with the city to further discuss the future of the building. The project will be funded by Lewes and the Board of Public Works.
Plans for a new hotel right next to Sunset Park in Ocean City are causing some problems. The company Kaima wants to build a new hotel right in downtown Ocean City, but a planned fire lane that would actually cut into the park. Functionally, what that would mean is trimming about 2 feet off of some trestles, replacing the entrance curbing with a standard driveway style curb, and prohibiting fixed objects like tents and food trucks from occupying that area. And while some are concerned by these possible changes, one local is happy to know it'll still be open to the public.
It's kind of a shame that the food trucks would go away, but I understand development is development. As long as they keep the park for public use, then I think that's probably an okay trade-off.
A public hearing is planned for Monday, November 18th.
Today marks the step towards a future for Sussex Tech. The school is celebrating a groundbreaking for its remodel. The new school will be 353,000 square feet. Tonight at 6 and 11, we'll have more about this event and plans for the new Sussex Tech.
Still to come, learn how you can make a difference at the Food Bank of Delaware.
And we're in the midst of a record-setting drought, no doubt, and the parched pattern is continuing.
First, a historical artifact creating a mystery in Dorchester County. Why historians are asking the public for help, up next.
The savings start early during the pre-Veterans Day sale at Johnny Janosic. Get 0% APR financing for 3 years or take an extra 15% off for cash. Shop the pre-Veterans Day sale going on now at Johnny Janosic.
When I asked for your vote 3.5 years ago to be your Sussex County Councilman, I pledged to you that I would work aggressively to manage residential development in our community. I spearheaded an increased buffer ordinance, which is now law. During my 3.5 years on County Council, I have also been actively involved in saving almost 2,000 acres of land in our community, which will never be developed. I ask for your vote on November 5th so I can continue the fight.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere. Current Chevy owners can get $6,500 total value on this 2024 Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 12% below MSRP. See your Delmarva Chevy dealers.
Prince George's County politician Angela Alsobrooks may live near D.C., but she'd bring tons of baggage. Nearly 2 decades of illegal tax breaks, $59,000 in back taxes, and thousands in unpaid bills. A sweetheart tax deal. Typical politician. Slumlord Alsobrooks? Records show she was caught operating an illegal rental property. With so much baggage, how can we trust Alsobrooks to represent us? Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Shop Johnny Janosic's Veterans Day mattress sale and find incredible store-wide savings. Plus, get a free adjustable base with your mattress purchase of $19.99 or more through Veterans Day Monday at Johnny Janosic's Mattress World.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
A gadget that's been sitting in storage at the Dorchester County Historical Society has directors asking the public for help figuring out exactly what this is.
As you're seeing, the machine has 2 rolling pins and it is also motorized.
Directors with the museum believe it was used around 100 years ago minus the motor, and they say it could have been used as a Maryland beaten biscuit maker.
We figured that was the fastest and most prominent way to reach our membership, with the idea that they could see it, visualize it, and perhaps remember it in past visits.
So the society, again, they're putting this video out here, they're putting it out on social media because they want to know, do you remember it? They know it's been in Cambridge since 1992, but still, No idea what that was for, Paul.
I know exactly what that is. Okay, it's a gigantic pencil sharpener. Let's take a look at your Bay forecast. We're going to be trending up for the next couple of days, warming up nicely. Your full forecast coming up. You remember that old grinding pencil sharpener? Or am I aging myself? Go to break.
There's DNA. Then there's heavy-duty DNA. HDNA. It's engineered into every aspect of the GMC Sierra HD. With the pulling power to prove it. Tow hitches of the world, prepare for glory. Get 3.9% APR on 2024 Sierra heavy-duty models. We are professional grade GMC.
18 years ago, we founded Community Bank Delaware with the goal of providing high-quality banking services to our local community. Here you meet with decision makers, people just like you who live in and love this community. We provide the newest banking technologies to our customers, supported by our local team of professionals. Our bank serves clients throughout Sussex County, and we continue to grow, all thanks to you. Community Bank Delaware, where community matters.
As a Prince George's County police officer under Angela Also Brooks, here's what you should know. Also Brooks wanted to remove security from our schools and cut police funding. She released violent criminals and drug dealers. Murders have doubled, carjackings are up 500%. She would abolish cash bail, letting more violent criminals go free. Larry Hogan, he has our backs, and that's why Maryland police unanimously endorsed him.
Join our team by donating today.
I'm Larry Hogan, and I approve this message.
Tacoma has a dominant legacy as America's favorite small pickup for almost 2 decades. Known for reliability and capability. Now buy a Tacoma with low 4.99 APR or lease an SR for $279 a month.
This is my legacy.
Toyota, let's go places.
Don't miss the 8th Annual Delaware Resorts 55 Plus Expo, Saturday, November 2nd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Cape Henlopen High School. Admission is free. Explore the area's most successful health and wellness companies, realtors, retirement communities, physical therapy firms, senior services, financial services, home products and services, all designed for the 55 Plus community. Stop by for free flu shots and free health screenings provided by BB Healthcare. Some exhibitors offer expo specials and door prizes. There's something for everyone, and all ages are welcome. The Delaware Resorts 55 Plus Expo. Don't miss it.
Listen to Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. We're Delmarva proud.
Unfortunately, I have to continue to keep the score on this drought, and we're still marking up day after day of no rain with a very slight chance of a sprinkle or two. On Friday, I don't want to get your hopes up too high because it's very slight. I'll show you in a moment. Our Tendo's Casual Furniture Camera in Laurel, beautiful skyline, 67 degrees. And we'll drop down to 55 as early as 8 o'clock with mostly clear skies. We dipped down to 35 degrees in Georgetown, 34 in Salisbury. Now, as chilly as that wasn't actually a record low or anywhere close. The record low is actually in the mid-20s. We are currently settling into the 60s for the most part, but 72 right now in Redden. And we're relatively mild feeling right now. We have a stationary boundary that's surging, and we have reinforcing warm air that's coming out of the, see that big red thing with the barbs? That's our warm front. That's going to swing some additional warmer air our way, which will escalate the temperatures into the 80s. Interesting thing, our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook has changed ever so slightly. You see, now we're in the gray for normal. Now, normally we'd have a bit of rain here and there, so we've yet to see the rain, but it means that we're trending in the right direction, considering the fact that we're in the midst of severe drought statewide for the most part. But the bottom line is we're in the driest period. We're ranked number 2 now. We're only 2 days away from possibly being numero uno, unfortunately, with this dry period. Now, with that being said, remember, we're in the midst of severe drought between Milford, Seaford, Millsboro, and Lewes, and all places in between, and at the very least moderate in the most southern portions of Sussex. That means that we've accumulated 32 days in a row lacking measurable precipitation. And the bone dry pattern is here. Now, that smidgen that I was talking about, here it is, folks, right here, Friday. 23 whole gigantic percentages or chance of rain. And that's not a lot, but that's all I could scrape together, okay? And that's about as good as it gets. Because even as you take a look at our expectations for Wednesday, we're looking pretty clear. Thursday, we start off in the 60s and end up in the 80s. I don't see many green blobs here, which would indicate possibility of rain. Now, one good thing is it's helping our foliage report. We're actually near peak season, so it's actually very beautiful. The most southern portion of our viewing area, we start off in the 50s for Wednesday. Then we end up in the upper 70s for Wednesday afternoon. Still no cloud cover, no rain. 60s for Thursday morning and into the near 80s, well, upper 70s actually, by the time we get into Thursday evening. By the way, real quick, our scary cast. Listen, it's going to be real warm. As the sun goes down, we're going to be very mild, so the kids are going to at least have a lot of fun. Remember, do not have anything flammable, sparks, or anything of the sort. It's too dry to play around. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodel Extended Forecast. The clocks go back over the weekend. And of course, don't forget, next Tuesday is a very, very big deal.
Paul, tomorrow there is a chance to learn more about the Food Bank of Delaware's Healthy Pantry Initiative at its Milford facility. There's going to be an open house event where attendees will get behind-the-scenes looks to learn about various volunteer roles and hear inspiring stories about the impact of their contributions. If you can't make it tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., there is going to be another open house on Thursday.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 6 p.m., it's 1CW Pro Wrestling. Then at 7, Salisbury football will face off against Rowan. Tonight on DSN Plus, right now the Gunston School is serving Salisbury Christian on the volleyball court. At 5:30, it's Kent Island and Queen Anne's in girls soccer. Then at 6:30, watch Sussex Central play Odessa in boys soccer. Coming up, the Supreme Court weighs in on horse racing. Yeah, we'll explain next on Coast TV News at 5.
From gentle ocean breezes to small country towns, Sussex County has it all. That's why you need a real estate company that is familiar with it all. Mann & Sons offers decades of experience throughout Sussex County. Whether it's helping you purchase your forever home or find the perfect vacation rental at the beach. Trust our experience. Trust Mann & Sons.
For over 30 years, the difference is clear. Mann & Sons Real Estate.
This weather's brought to you by
Mann & Sons Real Estate.
My dad, Mike Ramone, is a different kind of public servant. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, right. But I know from my own experience how much he cares about everyone. He's a great father and grandfather. You can see how much their futures matter to him. And he has the same passion for your kids' future. He's focused on fixing our schools and getting teachers and students the resources they need. What I can promise is he'll be a great governor for all of Delaware.
Foul odors, discolored water, are you running out of hot water more quickly? These are all signs of sediment buildup in your water heater. And as the buildup becomes more severe, it can even cause a premature tank failure. Flushing the tank periodically can prevent these problems. FH Fur has you covered. Get a water heater flush for $49. That's right, a complete water heater flush for only $49. Act now and get a plumbing inspection free.
877-CALL-FUR. FHFur.com.
As a math teacher, Matt Meyer knows that Delaware's tax system isn't adding up. So he has a plan to fix it. Give middle-class families a tax cut, invest in schools, and lower costs. But Mike Ramone's plan gives tax breaks to the ultra-rich, which could cut education by nearly $175 million. Matt Meyer knows these numbers don't add up. He'll make state taxes fair so families can get ahead. Vote Matt Meyer for governor.
Dad, I need your help. I am in over my head with this house. I've got buckling floors, doors that won't close, sick kids, and a frustrated wife. Did you call Dry Zone? No, I called the cheaper guys. You've got to call Dry Zone. They're the oldest and the best. Just like you, Dad.
Protect your largest investment with Delmarva's local choice, Dry Zone, the oldest and the best.
Brought to you by Dry Zone, your local crawl space experts.
New this week, the Supreme Court is allowing an independent authority to continue to enforce anti-doping horse racing rules for now. Congress passed the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Act in 2020. It follows several highly publicized deaths of thoroughbreds and corruption scandals. You might remember those. Earlier this summer, a federal appeals court ruled that key parts of the law are unconstitutional. So today's order will leave the enforcement mechanism in place while the justices decide whether to hear the case or not.
In consumer news, Target making it easier on your wallet to host Thanksgiving dinner this year. Target announced it's offering a meal bundle for just $20, $5 less than last year. It feeds 4 people, includes all the traditional Thanksgiving favorites.
Pretty neat there. Patients visiting the ER for dehydration or nausea, well, they're half as likely to get IV fluids as they were before the hurricane. That's according to new research. That's because Helene's damage at a North Carolina facility that provides about 60% of IV fluids to hospitals across the U.S. Yeah, those fluids, they're nowhere now. So without fluids, officials recommend Gatorade or Pedialyte when possible. Coming up, a new fawn at the Salisbury Zoo. You can see her right behind her mom there. What makes her appearance unexpected? Yeah, you're going to want to hear this.
Farmers are superheroes, true conservationists. We are using soil health practices to help fight climate change. Soil health farmers are working today to protect tomorrow, using regenerative agriculture and climate-smart practices like no-till and cover crops to improve soil health. Healthy soils sequester carbon, improve water quality, and produce sustainable, nutrient-rich food. Soil health farmers are working today to keep Delmarva a beautiful place for generations to come.
In Washington, they talk, but in Delaware, Sarah delivers.
Sarah McBride helped raise the minimum wage.
She got paid leave for workers.
She got Democrats and Republicans to work together.
We're all in for Sarah.
Carpenters, bus drivers,
nurses,
sheet metal workers.
Sarah sees us.
And she respects us.
I'm Sarah McBride. I approve this message because anyone who works hard should be able to make ends meet. That's why I'm running for Congress.
Be charmed by Lewes.
Visit our unique shops and restaurants.
Lewes Gourmet and Puzzles, 30 years supporting the community. Eat extraordinary with local and global specialty foods and inspire your brain with jigsaws and more.
Make the season sparkle with fresh blooms from Floral Inspirations. We've got plants, festive decor, and a gift for everyone.
Come in for the smell of it.
Harbor Restaurant for canal front dining. Great waterfront views and fabulous food in downtown Lewes.
Lots to do and see.
In Lewes.
Seen these attacks? They're not true. The Republican billionaires paying for them know it, and Larry Hogan does too. So why does a group of billionaires from outside Maryland care so much about our Senate race? Because they want power, and they know Larry Hogan will give Republicans control of the Senate. They'll pass trillions in new tax breaks for big corporations and the wealthy. But you know who they don't care about? You. I'm Angela Also Brooks, and I approve this message.
Forgive me for skipping the pleasantries. I need your help. Someone here is trying to kill me.
He's a high-value target. Anyone could be after him. Until we find the killer, no one leaves.
The Irrational. New tonight on NBC and Peacock.
We have the best doctors in the country.
Stick! Oh! Got myself.
I mean, in Oregon. But we need everybody on their A game. No more tilapia in the microwave. It smells like a mermaid gave birth in here, and we all deserve better.
St. Dennis Medical, November 12th on NBC and Peacock.
I need you to follow me on this one. Okay, look in the back of this picture. That is Lily, a white-tailed deer fawn born in July to her mother, Rosie, you see in front of her. Well, Rosie was actually taken into the zoo in April. When she was found by Good Samaritans, she was raised by people, not allowed obviously, so she came to the zoo. Okay, we're up to speed, right? No, the zoo didn't know that Rosie was pregnant. Fast forward, now we have little baby Lily. Guess what? She's doing great. Mom and daughter doing okay. A little crazy story there, and soon they'll all be on exhibit for you to enjoy. Paul.
Well, wow. Okay. Who knew? All right, here we go. Tunnel and razor camera in Lewes, 63 degrees. We'll drop to 56 with a few scattered clouds by 9 o'clock. Hope for that little bit of moisture will be there. Not enough to need an umbrella, though. Steve Johnson, by the way, our umbrella winner in Milton. Congratulations. We have warm air, another stack of warm air that's going to be moving in our direction. We have the update on your forecast. Call our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Baird, Mandalas, Brockstead, and Federico. And here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Remember, we've got warm weather for Halloween. The clocks go back over the weekend and Election Day on Tuesday.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.